Hello, and welcome to another episode of my Rebel Ink Let's Play. This is Northstar. For those of you new to my channel, I've done a number of these before. I have a number of other Let's Play series as well, including Alpha Centauri. Interesting. No real interest in that, though. Including Alpha Centauri, which is a great game. I play it kind of slowly, but that's because of my long COVID. I'm disabled long COVID, and it really slows my thought process as well as leaving me tired all the time. Many days to start just to get 2 videos out like today. Really freaking sucks. And the government doesn't do enough to try and develop a cure. This notice is a little, looks like a stock market thing there with the characteristic periodic crashes, business cycle. Because capitalism does that, has regular crashes every 4 to 7 years. Not sure if it really belongs in this almost pre-capitalist. Well, it's meant to represent like Iraq, capitalism was well established there. Afghanistan less well so. So it depends what country this represents or is meant to evoke anyways, because I'm sure the devs of the game say it's not a particular country. This game is kind of is certain countries, and it's very much propaganda. Don't know what else to say. So let's do this ridiculousness. The tank general on distant step. I might lose a couple times, but trying to get first 5 maps with all 5 generals. I don't think there's anything left besides general or tank commander in Pistachio Forest, which is in some ways going to be even harder, more brutal. Development director in Southern Desert, and the tank commander in Southern Desert. Ooh, tank commander in Southern Desert. That might be interesting. Let's give it a shot. Interesting air quote, but something I might like to do. Using these advisors because of without having dollars and disasters DLC, which is overpowered nonsense. These are kind of the best for a really marginal, difficult general map combination, which tank commander is in this one. All that's left are the more marginal. He's good on some maps, but not here. Especially not with my long COVID and my sore reaction times as such, and reducible, I think, clearly. I don't know. This game is propaganda. There's a lot of propaganda that floats around our society and people are unaware of it. Like it wasn't too long ago I read Childhood's End, and the author of that is clearly a racist piece of crap, which I had no idea until I started reading it and came across characteristic dog whistle stuff. I'm like, fuck this guy, this asshole. Which stuff that had no business in a sci-fi story about aliens coming to Earth just as people are reaching orbit for the first time, almost. Book was written before the first humans reached the moon. I forget if it was before the first humans reached space. I can work with that. No, actually, that's not a great start location. It's too distant from this corner of the map. Now I think about it. Need to start building intel right away. So that and cost effectively keep corruption from going too high. Uh, Urban outreach. Everything is $5, annoyingly, for the general or the tank commander. I think these are tied to fixed to $4, so boom. I don't have to do. Inflation does come down a little more quickly the higher it is. So you get more inflation when you group stuff tightly together. I want Fed to procurement probably very soon here. Come down to $4. Probably when inflation reaches 6%. Nope, 5 maybe then. There we go. I went right in on that stuff. Inflation went up a little with that. That's still $5. This is down to 4. No? Still I'd like to get core healthcare before water. Voice civ initiatives weren't so darn expensive with the tank commander. Really? Still $5? Alright, fine. School supplies. At least that's $4. Wait for that to come down to 6. Czechoslovakian MiG-29s destroyed in mid-air collision. Guess it's supposed to be some sort of commentary on low training standards or something. Still no concerns? Well, often water is a concern in this map. Grab basic water. I have to start thinking about military stuff now. What? Time for international assistance. I'll need it. Also need infrastructure development. Get discussions so the charity will do one of the more expensive actual things in it. I'll do development discussions as well. Same reason. Corruption's a little higher than I'd like. Still, corruption 1 gives a little support. Grab water expansion. It's one of the cheaper things. Universal justice, because I desperately need the support. Otherwise, I'm going to start losing reps soon. Universal justice doesn't contribute to inflation. I gotta save up for tanks. Oh. I have to give them full access because otherwise I won't stabilize zones quick enough. Won't matter that the whole issues of inflation. I'll delay it a little because they'll skyrocket inflation and corruption. Also gonna need local militia. Start rolling out. I'll grab basic sanitation now. I need the support. It's one of the cheaper services, so. Advanced sanitation, same reason. Guess this is a good place to save. This wasn't a great start. See any more insurgents, so I guess I'll move these guys here. Well, their spot's way over there. Didn't quite get there in time to stop the area from being captured. Unfortunately. Inflation is through the roof. Can't afford anything, really. Oh, they're there, not there. Whoops. Oh, now there's units there. Definitely see them. They're just not fighting. So little intel, I guess. Surveillance drones. There we go. Before I take that zone over. New museum proposed. Like, slightly increase the support. No money for it. Corruption's already really high for so early. Haven't lost any rep to it yet. Yeah. Don't know if that'll get drones to at least start moving this way in case of something like that. Boom. Need some actual normal soldiers. There's the bloody camp. Need to collect intel there. It's on the tank to destroy the camp. I think it can do that. I hope it can do that. It's been a while since they take him air for anything. Because he's just bad. Oh. Really? I can't let him have this zone. Can't get them in there soon enough, though. Need a coalition unit there. Indirectly having more of them. Can't want them to keep that for too long. Indirectly having more of them lets you stay longer here because they have the chef. So if they're in combat less often. Finally stabilized his own. Pretty early thanks to full charity access. Now if I had the overpowered charity watchdog. Tank was able to destroy that camp. Establishing intel there so I can roll out initiatives. I want to eventually stabilize that zone. Sensors, since I actually got a drone thing ready to be useful. Fuel endurance. Still losing, but at least more slowly. And another war distracts the coalition. Darn it. I swear this was less affected by inflation, but soldier is not doing too hot. Which means I'm going to need more of them so they can support each other. Can't afford to lose there, and might be a camp in the mountains for all I know. Oh. You know what? No, what am I doing? These guys need support. Being dumb. dirt roads paid by charity. Inflation is at 40%. Corruption at 62. Taint justice to bring it down. People convicted of serious corruption offenses may be executed by being run over by a tank. I swear this is some sort of extended joke poking at so-called tankies. It's annoying. Let's pull this a little back. Oh, of course, there's the camp. Problem is, they could pull back a unit that's currently in combat. Goodness. These odds negotiating would really hurt me, but I'm not sure I can win without. I guess I'll save here. Oh wow, but if this goes tits up, I might try negotiating. It's a higher RNG, but if it works out, could actually make an enormous difference. Foreign rivals supporting insurgents. That nonsense. Hey, Foreign Relations Office is only $12 right now. It's usually more. Really? Here again? I should send that tank to go deal with all that. Ah. Avoid fighting them there for a number of reasons, but partly because it's so remote from everything. I just have to be able to contain this pocket. See these movement times, they're utterly ridiculous. Winning without help, so of course they go for there. Corruption. To send these guys as soon as feasible. Come on, fighting, awaiting orders. There we go. Too slow. And there they destroyed the police. Doing a corruption that's a little more expensive than like, because inflation do the whole charity thing. Let's push these guys back a little now. I need national soldiers. I can't do coalitions forever. These guys are losing, even with their tanks. Oh no, it's gonna take too long. Approve project security. Oh, lecture town. Insurgents need the rep. Corruption 4. Darn it. I'm gonna have to extend these guys. Airstrikes. Right, we idiots stop droning areas that I can't not control. Focus on areas I can contest. Garrisons. Delta Romeo. Oh, it is on this side of the river. Alright. Build boy garrison. Combat reinforcements. And those guys are still losing. Can't afford to lose them quite yet. I need more nationals. This chance I'll get to take on this camp. Never mind that. Push him back there then. Where are they gonna attack? I don't know, but this is on the way to it. There we go. Retaking that zone won't do no good if I can't hold it. Just have to send these guys home. I get jobs, I can barely hold the military situation. Doing a corruption purge, which will stop the corruption as well as reduce the risk a little. Yep. Massive amounts of reputation involved in redeployments, which sucks to have to do, but Tank Commander really has a hard time just militarily containing the insurgents. Corrupt because he can't afford the consequences of anything else. It's driving classes for the tanks. Had to lose the police, huh? Ah. Or the militia, rather. Need the National Ground troops. Need this done before I can actually. Garrison, yes please. I contain that pocket. security checkpoints. Definitely need those soon. Just a little pressure on the rival. Right. $24 to stop the last rep to corruption again. It wasn't even that long to move in there. More threats than insurgents. These guys have to go home. Can't afford more rep. Same. Send them home just in time to win that fight. Intel there. A national soldier. Darn it. Sorry about the mic bump. See if I can't. Sometimes you can kill a unit when they're fleeing. Or with an airstrike, that's my best bet here. Increase the pay of the national soldiers. Threatening can come with all sorts of nasty consequences. Garrison, yes please. There's a little pressure on the rival. No choice but to do a short extension. I have to bring some coalition men. There's too many little pockets that are scattered from each other. Start with the bottom left and move to the upper right. So I'm out of time to one of those cover-ups fails. The rules for airstrikes. Unfortunately, I like attacking this town, so need more drones and need intel here to capture that zone. Pressure. We're doing for time. 45 minutes. Yeah, so I mentioned before that Childhood's End. It's an interesting book, but as I said, the author's got some deeply problematic stuff. He seems sympathetic to Nazis for one, although also the Soviets, which is kind of weird. Broadly, any authoritarian regime. He seems to like. whether it's authoritarian like the Soviets trying to create economic justice, one-party state, it's not inherently authoritarian because of nationalization of industries or anything. That's nonsense, right-wing bullshit. But the Soviet Union, unfortunately, because of Lenin's ideas of democratic centralism, was a one-party state. That's not inherent in any way to socialism or a problem with socialism, but a problem rather of trying to merge all the parties into one. Oh, those guys are losing hard. It's done. Okay. I should send him here in case of another attack on these zones. Retain the rules engagement again. Some precision munitions. Arms upgrade for the soldiers. Still losing? Anti-AD vehicles. Still losing. Right? I always start winning once the insurgents take the zone. For the park. %14 chance of failure here. I have to just apologize for that airstrike. Keep chasing these guys. See if I can't corner him. Rapid air rotation. Have the national soldiers do the fighting so as not to reduce the coalition deployment. Security checkpoints on militia will help there. Keep throwing the insurgents. Time for local police recruitment. So yeah, the racist dog whistle in that book. So I'm sure some of you are aware of the whole nonsense Trump is pulling with claiming genocide against white people in South Africa. This is a nonsense, age-old canard that racists have been claiming ever since the apartheid regime fell in South Africa, which was basically a fascistic ethno-state, extremely racist, you know. So the furthest you could ever be from a non-racist regime apartheid South Africa. And ever since, racists have started claiming, oh, genocide, just because, mostly because land was taken from white farmers that seized it from blacks, them or their parents, and redistributed, because there's generational poverty of the blacks in South Africa due to that history. I mean, people, born in slums, they can't get their hands on any land because the white people own it all, because there's segregation and prevention of them being able to buy the land, because poverty is a trap. If you're poor, it's hard, especially your country doesn't have a good public education system and such. It's hard to pull yourself up from there. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps or first something that's literally impossible. Journalist kidnapped in this area. Oh, that's not good. Gonna have to pay the ransom. Sucks that increases insurgent capacity, but at least it gets me a little rep. Yeah, if any of you viewers have ever dealt with much in the way of poverty, you know that it's very much something that you can get trapped in. Heck, even if you have a lot of advantages, it can be easy to get trapped in it. After I finished my first master's, I was stuck in a rural area where there were no jobs in my scientific field. And it's my first master's because later, much later, went back to grad school again for a special master's because I had always been trying to get to med school. And special masters are at a med school. They have a lot of overlap at MD material, so you do well and proves you can handle an MD. You're very likely to get into an MD program. I mean, the better programs keep statistics on this, and they have ridiculously high acceptance rates to MD programs. And so I did this. Was getting straight 4.0s much later. But after my first master's, I was stuck in a rural area where there were no jobs in my field. I didn't have the money to get out of the area. And because there were no good paying jobs in the area, rural area, it was very hard to save up the money and leave. Poverty trap. Awesome. Employers that I was overqualified for the shit jobs that did exist in the area and wouldn't hire me because they thought I'd leave after I had the money to leave, which is actually true, so I couldn't deny it. I mean, I'm not a very convincing liar, and even if I could have pulled it off, which maybe, then they would have been upset with me later when they found I was lying and sought revenge somehow, I'm sure. So, honesty was the best policy here. And that's a very banal kind of situation. Well, not banal. That's not the worst by far that a poverty trap could be that hardly qualifies. Which is to say that, poverty can be brutal to get out of. And for these black people in South Africa who suffer from generational poverty as the direct legacy of apartheid and colonialism, it makes sense that there be redistribution of land. That's not genocide. Genocide is, bombing people, killing them, like is going on in Gaza. That's genocide, where you murder a bunch of people. Not where you take some land and redistribute it, and often compensate the people who are taking land from. Although, where it's been found that there were particularly egregious examples of land theft or people resisting the redistribution, sometimes it isn't compensated as kind of punishment for resisting the process. But or if particularly egregious examples of land theft in the past that can be proven. Regardless of what you think of that, it's not genocide. But the author of Childhood's End literally makes references with discrimination against the white minority in South Africa line that's utter bullshit and is an area we couldn't claim white genocide in a book without being that was written at the UK without being deeply unpopular. He does this in a way that's sneaky, but it's very obvious that he's a racist pig, the guy who wrote the book. Why was that even on my mind? Poverty traps. Well, anyways, that's probably part of why the jobs initiatives in this game are so important, because, you know, helping people get out of poverty traps. Now here, I can't really stabilize these zones, at least not till I build more garrisons. Should send this here to get intel on that zone. It's taking too long, and I really, really need it. There's too many insurgents for peace deal. Not losing a lot to corruption. Alright, local police expansion. I need the security. And then, of course, PR improvement vital. Source game. Somehow originate or something like that out of a PR firm. I mean, probably didn't, but, you know, I'm just... It's ridiculous. I agree that it's PR vital, PR this, PR that. Improve for isolated communities. This just means I've rolled out road initiatives in a lot of zones. Alright, let's grab the PR media office finally. You kidding me? Darn it. God. Let's make sure they don't retreat east. At least they go west. Got 2 garrisons that can help contain them. Saddle pressure on the rival. Refugee crisis. Prepare land. And the insurgent leaders. If I could get the surge events. Saw they were massing up here. I'm like, yeah, I gotta do something about that. Trying to stabilize this corner of the map. Probably about to have difficulties here, fortunately. Sorry about that pocket. Refugees being rehoused. Higher zone support, that's good. I'm gonna be in trouble when I lose this last coalition soldier. Really need the surge event or something. Meantime, strategic communications. Oh, they're going there. Defeated fighters 47 active. 15. That's something for sure. Just make sure everything spawns in these mounds. Roll outreach. Roll out the police rural areas a little faster, at least. New companies open for business. That's too slow, probably. Maybe not. Just nothing there because I was worried there might be an insurgent camp in these areas. None yet, apparently, though. Dirt roads 2. Need to improve this corner. Long-term investment for sure. There is finally stable. Just taking forever to plan out, build more inroads, more garrisons. Here we go. There's one. Improve zone secure a little. It's slower to lose these areas. Really need them here, though. Oh, outreach. I'll also help those areas. The military. Need for the national soldiers to push into the mountains soon. Well, yeah. Refugee crisis. More land. More rep. Do that. These guys can help roll stuff out. And no support there because tank infrastructure damage. So support. Help Echo Oscar stabilize quicker. Those police security points are built. Pull those guys elsewhere. I'm just worried about the southwest corner of the map. This is going to have to be a long extension. I'm going to need a long time to come. Alright, nothing in there. That was just in case something popped up in that corner. Ah, there's another wall of police. That wasn't all. Is now doing militia there? Right? Demand for TV and media source get involved. I need the reputation. This is a long haul thing. From the military again. Need civil immigration. Faster raw stuff. Increasing security. Coalition soldiers basically act as police trainers. It's just something that historically happened in Iraq. Definitely serves a certain purpose. This desert map is obviously kind of modeled after Iraq. Let's grab polio eradication. Helps with hostile populations, like in the southwest. Those guys are green zones that stop making people irritated. Human terrain system help too. Prison reform, full reform, more reputation. The longer I keep at this, eventually I will stabilize the southwest. Now prevent camps from spying there, and then I can deal with the southeast and win. Dramatic fall in child mortality rate. Let's do all the health initiatives I've been doing. Apiary equipment provided. So beekeeping. You actually do get some cool flower booms in the desert after rains. So on occasion that could be useful. And bees do also help with crop yields. Say you got some stuff in a greenhouse. Right. Military is strong enough now to... I don't need to fund them any further, I don't think. So, donate to charity. Since the main security threat is how slowly I'm stabilizing stuff. I'm gonna snuff right for peace deal. That. To stabilize some of these zones, I could do it. Not bother pushing there. One of the risks is insurgents become more capable in the peace deal if I don't compromise them. If I compromise, I'll lose reps, so peace deals I could get away with right now, for sure. Would, yeah, be problematic. Stay wins the race. Speed this up, though. Not a ton to do. Democratic transition, that'll help me gather rep on average at this point. Plan elections, not quickly. More green zones, the better for those. I'm actually going to push into these mountains, I think. Here. Well, this was an annoyingly slow map, but at this point, victory is pretty much assured. So I'm not gonna do anything stupid, take any big risks. Can't see how in women's rights law, full form, more support in urban areas, more rep. Hey, at this point, my tanks are almost NASA, in that they're really hard hitting, of course. Can't support. Yeah, which is still a problem. Public cues the rival. Really decrease insurgent capability. And TB eradication. Since hostile pop's a big thing. New football league. Significant funding. Never hurts to have more support. Got the money. Fall elections. Gained 5 rep. Clean water supplies rise dramatically. These guys help roll out a little more of these vaccines, and then very soon I can just do a peace deal. Send home. Time for peace talks. Surgeon capability is very low, so I can afford to at least hardline initially. This rep allows me to deal with any consequences from antagonizing. Female pilot makes headlines. Nice. Prison all insurgent leaders. I thought these guys do better with all the funding to the military. I guess not. Insurgents apologize. International forces mean definitely. It's this just in case of a snafu. Not going to stabilize any more zones this time, so. Great peace deal. Snafu, if like I got an searching spawn new camp before the peace deal. Victory in November of 2026. Ridiculously long time, but a victory is a victory. Very, very high reputation, support. Cool. So I hope you folks enjoyed that. Take care of each other, be kind to yourselves, and may you always find a guy in Starly home. Till next time, it's Northstar. Adieu, and sorry about a massive 80-minute video. Oof.